Have you ever tried to say no to somebody and it sucks because you don't want to hurt their feelings? Yeah, it kind of sucks. And I know we want to take care of each other and it sucks that other people get hurt by our actions. But there are ways of saying no that can try to minimize the damage, if not ameliorate it altogether. This week on the Blue Ball Report. Hello and welcome to the Blue Ball Report. As you can see, I'm getting lazier and lazier at making episodes, but today I wanted to talk about how to say no to someone without hurting their feelings. And I hear this a lot, and I've been there myself. It sucks to hurt someone else's feelings, so we try to avoid that as much as possible. And unfortunately, it's essential though that we have to be able to say no and know what our boundaries are. And the truth is, I can't guarantee that you're not going to hurt their feelings. Feelings get hurt sometimes, but we do the best we can in saying our no to people. So I had someone that I was just speaking with the other day who had to say no to someone. Basically, they tried it on and it wasn't quite a match. So what I said is go ahead and practice with me how you're going to say no, that this doesn't work. And we did. And what I modeled is in this instance, and this lesson has been learned over and over again, which probably deserves its own episode, but guess I'll throw it in here. That what I found, and I've seen a lot of people find eventually at one point, is that someone can look really good on paper. Hell, they can even be really good looking and be really hot. But then you get with them, and it's like there's not a pheromonal match, and it's there's no chemistry. And unfortunately, we can't fake that. That's just the way that we're encoded. It turns out that pheromones are a way our bodies really kind of detect whether or not a mate is compatible or not, and it's really outside of our control. But someone can be hot, but it's kind of like being in bed with a brother or sister or something like that. So that's happened to me. I think I've seen everyone in my life go through this where they're on one end or the other of this kind of situation where they'll get together with someone and everything's great on paper. Is a great person. They're good looking. Everything's, they're accomplished and everything. They're nice and stuff like that. But there's just no there's no pheromonal, I gotta eat you or be and want you. It's just oh, you feel kind of like a sister. And what's interesting is being a gay dude, it's there's an assumption that just because someone is attractive, that there's going to be this chemistry there, and it just doesn't happen all the time. So I've actually been in a situation, unfortunately, where I hurt someone because I didn't know this thing. And so we would be together and everything was great and I was enjoying the relationship and everything, but it just wasn't there. And then I just kept looking elsewhere, and then it landed up hurting his feelings a lot because I was it's just not there, and it was for him. So when I've seen people on the opposite side of this thing, it's just he's just not that into you kind of thing. So I was counseling a friend who had this experience where he tried it on with a dude, and it was well, it wasn't really there. And I said, well, would you like to practice saying your no for next time? He goes, I kind of want to tell him, it's not really there. Now, they'd only gotten together once, really, And so my advice is when, saying no to someone, the best thing to do is just make it less about them and more about you, right? So if I'm not into someone, I'm not going to say, yeah, I'm not into you, you're not cute enough, or you don't smell good enough. That is when people already have a tendency to take things personally. So, and I know that. And the fact of the matter is, all of that's not true. It's all subjective. It's not objective. It's all about me and my reception of it. So, when I'm saying no to someone, to let them down gently and to try not to hurt their feelings, but still make my no clear, I start with something positive, I say my no, and then I end with something negative. That's what I try to do. And I try to make my no about me, not about them. So in this example, I was recommending hey, if, someone that you don't want to be romantically or sexually with, it's hey, what I modeled was like, hey, it was really great. It's really great to get to know you. And I think you're a really great guy, and you're really cute, and it was nice to try things on with you. And I just really felt like it's just like the chemical match was there. It was more like being with a sister. I feel like we're more appropriately like sisters than friends. So, and I look forward to like building a friendship with you, but that's just feels more appropriate to me. I might even at some point, like, I think you're a super great guy and you're cute. It's kind of interesting how, sometimes, it's like unconscious and all these other desires and needs, just like it's not a match for us. But I look forward to being, friends and sisters with you. So in that example there, it's like I start with something complimentary, which is true. This person is like a good person. And then just making it all about, which is true. It's like, it's not a match for me, but saying what it is a match for. And ending with something like, like I had one friend who had tried it out, thought of trying it on with, and I was like, I've already done this before where I tried to get it on with someone who's really honestly my sister, and it kind of, blew up because it's just not there. So I'm not going to do that again with you, but let's be pals. So I think that that's the real truth of it. And saying no to someone is like, it's important to know our boundaries and be honest and be real and be clear and be firm. In those situations, sometimes I've seen people kind of fib a lie, like, oh, I'm not really into dating anyone now. And then they actually land up dating someone else. It's like, you don't need to lie, but it's also like you try to make it as nice as possible because, it's nice to have a reputation as being a caring person, and it feels good to be caring as much as we can. Now, the unfortunate fact of it is that, yeah, that person might get triggered. They might get upset by it. They could very well be disappointed. We do what we can for them, but we also realize there's only so much we can do to take care of other people's feelings and help them take care of their own. And if they choose to wallow in it or blame you or bring in all these other things, that's really unfortunate, but that's not your fault. You are not responsible for other people's feelings, and that's the fact of it. Although we do try to take care of each other as much as possible. So if you're needing to say no to somebody without hurting their feelings, I recommend, starting with something positive, making your no about reasons that are within you, not about them, because you're going to recognize that most of the time people take things personally, and most of the time people assume the worst. So we try to preemptively clarify those assumptions and make it so that they don't take it personally about them, but instead it's about you, and then try to end with something nicely. So from my bed, that's your Blue Ball report today, and have a nice week.